Alrighty, welcome to Rolling in Dough. Week 4 of the football season, and the boys are back in person. Fellas, how are we doing? Dylan?
Doing pretty good. It's a pretty good week.
It looked like it was. It looked like you splurged on a little bit.
Yeah, just had a little bit of extra money in the pocket. 10-1 is kind of you can afford to do that when you go 10-1. So,
Holy smokes, is that 4 watches?
just had to treat myself a little bit after a good week.
One for each time zone that his condos are in.
Oh my goodness. Nick, how are you?
I'm all right. The Patriots suck. I'm so mad right now. I'm in a bad mood. I'm a sourpuss right now. I'm just sourpuss right now.
That's awesome. Yeah, we're all Patriots fans.
Yeah, that's great.
We're all Patriots fans. We're watching. It's not a beatdown yet.
No, we're not even watching it.
We're not. It's vibes.
We're doing this.
We're doing this.
You're
So,
welcome.
with that, I'll go ahead and give a recap of last week. So, as Dylan mentioned, he won a bunch of games last week, going 10-1. Not many losses on that board. His only loss being Washington -4.5, which was a pretty good game. He almost went undefeated, to be honest. Nick, 14-10 on the season, 5-2 last week, so you had a pretty good week too. Your 2 losses coming at the under in the West Virginia Pitt game,
That was not sneaky.
which was a bad beat in a way because,
I know.
yeah, it was tough.
They scored like 3 more times in 2 minutes.
Yep.
To end the game.
I thought we had it for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we didn't. They got sacked, and it was like 3rd and 20, and freaking believe it, touchdown pass.
Yeah.
30-yard touchdown pass.
Yeah, so I was in no man's land because I had Pitt covering, and not on the graphic, but Pitt covering, and then the under. So I was like, I needed them to score, but my graphic had.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what to think. And then Arizona felt like a loss pretty much the entire way, so that one didn't feel too bad. Kansas State really showed up and showed out. That's who we thought they were, I think.
I've been saying it all season, from before the season started, that Arizona was not as good as everyone was saying they were.
Yeah, and even their stars haven't looked like stars as they've played different or more difficult competition.
They're not a bad team. They're just not going to be the team they were last year. They're getting a lot of grace from last year. It's the TCU effect from 2 years ago.
Well, they lost their head coach, too.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They were never going to be great.
And we can probably skim over mine. I've fallen.
No, say it.
Okay, sorry. I've fallen from grace this year. 60% last year. Don't forget that this year, not so much. A little bit under 500.
But you've done for me lately.
What have you done for me lately? I think that's fair. 14-15 on the season. 4-5 last week. Had the absolute wrong beats in the Arizona game. Double loss there. Mizzou did not handle Boston College like I thought they would. Was pretty accurate. The Oregon game, this one there, and then the under in the West Virginia game with Nick.
My favorite win was the Boston College one.
Yeah, because you had it because it was against me.
No, not because it was against you.
I was the only one that got it wrong.
Because the only reason why I picked that was because of college football 25. I told you they were getting good in college football 25.
Yeah, always do. Yeah.
They always get good. Every simulation I've done, every season, they get good.
Yeah.
So I told you, I trusted the game. EA Sports.
Yeah.
It's a game.
Trust the simulation.
Trust the simulation.
We live in a simulation.
All right, keep going. You don't need to.
And Derek, our ancient astronaut theories.
Yeah, how do you do?
What a strong performance, 5-2. I believe that's the best performance of the year
No, it's not.
for a celebrity guest picker.
I was a celebrity guest picker last week.
You're done.
So I'm going to retire and become a full-time celebrity guest picker.
Can I ask you, is this outfit for the picks, or is it because Texas Tech we're back drinking the Kool-Aid?
I drink the Kool-Aid every week, even when we suck. It's
Yeah.
suck. Hit Thursday, hey, we're great.
But you went from the clown makeup.
Yeah, that was the proof point. They had to know how we feel.
Do you think the boys saw your getup?
I would like to think that, but
I think they did.
they found what was inside of them the whole time.
I think that inspired me, to be honest. But with that, we're going to go ahead and get into our picks. And so our first game, we have number 24 Illinois versus number 22 Nebraska. Nebraska's going to be favored by 7.5 with an over under 42.5. Dylan, since you had such a star-spangled banner week last week, I'm gonna let you kick it off for us.
So this Nebraska team, I mean, they're starting to finally come back to the old Nebraska. The whole Raiola thing's kind of weird. He's trying to become Patrick Mahomes. I'm sure you guys have seen that.
I've heard that.
He's
Have
literally,
you seen this? Have you heard about this?
he's literally just matching his look. He's even doing the same pregame routine. He's not going to play like him, though. I mean, this is a lot of points. Nebraska probably wins the game, but 7.5 points with Illinois. Villanova's going to make this game ugly. I'm going to take the points. Give me an Illinois set plus 7.5.
Nick, what are you thinking?
Illinois is I struggle, my brain, I was telling you guys I got a dumb sports brain. I struggle thinking that Illinois is a football school. So, sorry, Dylan, I gotta go the opposite. I'm gonna go Nebraska minus 7.5. I just don't think Illinois can keep up because in my mind, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah, that's fair. It probably doesn't sound right, and it's pretty low over under too. It looks like an NFL game. For me in this one, I think both quarterbacks are going to an environment against tougher teams than they faced this year, and so I think with it being at 7.5, I'm going to take that half point, and I'm going to rock with Dylan with them with Illinois plus 7.5.
That's fine.
There you go. Illinois is so sweet. You had the S on the end.
That's right.
Dang. Here's what I'm gonna tell you, boys. Dylan, do you feel who's stink or swagger has gotten way out at the end? Because you stink, and you did very well last week. So who's gonna break who?
I'm hoping I don't break.
So Dylan, as I was saying, I hope you break him, Troy.
Well, good. Now I have an out if I suck.
I got the Troy stink down there.
That's a hard stink to get off.
It is. Is that baby Evie?
Hey, listen, it was bath night tonight. So
Oh, thank God.
No stink there. No stink
Yeah,
there.
yes.
Awesome. Well, next we got NC State.
Isn't it awesome?
No, when they poop their pants, they poop their pants. That's a hard stink to get off.
Look, bath night ain't for fun.
Yeah.
It happened for a
I
reason.
don't do it for my health.
Yeah.
I do it for her health. All right. Next we got NC State versus number 21 Clemson. Clemson's going to be favored by 19 even, with an over under 44.5. Nick, I'll let you kick this off this time. What are your thoughts?
That is a low over under. What was it again?
It is 44.5.
44.5.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the over on it. That's going to be a tough one, but I think Clemson could run up the score really quick. And didn't everyone think NC State was okay to start the season?
Yeah, everybody saw it. Like there was a stink factor there.
Well, there could be a stink factor. Just Dylan.
They're supposed to be good.
What so?
I'll let you know.
Water finds its level.
Sometimes you stink so much it doesn't.
That's not what you've
Or
always
maybe,
said.
maybe people.
I'm going the over. I'm going the over. Either they stink so bad Clemson scores 1,000 or they both score 22 points.
22 points in the 19-point spread for each. Dylan, what are your thoughts?
Well, water always finds its level, but we were wrong on NC State's level probably at the beginning of the year. It's a terrible team. I see the total at whatever you said, 44 or 44.5, whatever the heck it was.
Yeah, 44.5.
And a 19-point spread. It's almost an auto play on NC State, but this team is so bad. Clemson has to ball out, look good. I'll take Clemson minus 19. I don't love it, but I just can't back this NC State team right now.
Who's the kid from that transferred in there, quarterback? He's not playing. He's hurt, I believe, too. So I got a backup going in there. So I was pulling up the first half spread, even though it hasn't worked for me this year. So I'm actually going to rock with Clemson at home at 10.5. I think with the new blooded quarterback, he's going to struggle early. I think Clemson's figuring, a couple things out, and I think this will be their first opportunity to prove themselves. Much they did last game too, but at home, I think they're going to give the fans what they've been looking for. Any final thoughts on that game?
Water always finds its level.
Water always finds its level. I think it's a tsunami for Clemson now.
Okay, tsunami sounds like a lot of points.
Yeah, no. So there you go. Different. All right. Next, we got USC, number 11 USC versus 18 Michigan. Michigan's plus 5.5 with an over under 44.5. Dylan, what are your thoughts?
It's hard to pick against the national champions at home in a style matchup of score, go versus defense. Michigan's offense looks terrible though, and
USC's offense doesn't look.
Miller Moss is going to win the Heisman this year because he's going to take USC with the hardest schedule to the playoff. Give me USC plus 5.5. USC is going to win this game.
I will also take USC plus 5.5. I don't think Michigan's as good as they were last year. Every time I bet the over with USC last week didn't hit the over either, right?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, so they haven't been scoring like they could, and I don't think
it's hit this year, to be honest.
yeah, I don't think so either. And I don't think Michigan cares to necessarily run up the score. So go ahead, and USC's defense looks better this year than it did last year.
Defense looks really good.
They look inspired. So go ahead and give me the plus 5.5.
Plus 5.5. All right, I'm going to do my first two for the episode. I have some ground to make up on y'all. This probably isn't the game to do it, but here's what I'm going to do anyway. I'm going to take the over at 44.5. Michigan's going to a one quarterback system now, Nick. I know that brings you happiness.
Yeah, one quarterback.
Does that matter?
If you have two, do you have any?
Does that matter when you can't throw?
Mm-mm.
Hey, they're one-dimensional.
Did you ever
Run the triple option, which I guess that's not great for the offense.
I mean, he got benched because he couldn't throw, basically.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go with Michigan to cover 5.5.
No.
Okay.
In the big house, Dylan, you mentioned Miller Moss having a coming out game. Maybe he does, but going to Michigan isn't going to, it stinks over here. I guess that didn't
Stinky.
but I think they'll struggle early, but to your point, it's really hard to slow them down. So I think there'll be enough points to get over the NFL total of a 44.5.
Yeah, felt
That's what it looks like.
nice.
All righty. Next, we got a real fun game, a Big 12 matchup. That looks really promising, honestly. We got number 12 Utah versus, I didn't put their number in there, but Oklahoma State, who's obviously a very good team as well.
Disrespectful. I think number 13.
We'll go with that.
I think they're one below or one above Utah.
It's like 18-11. Who knows?
All right, whatever they are, we'll do some research in a second.
I got the Lions up on the phone right now.
We have Oklahoma State is now favored by 2.5, and the over/under's at 52.5. Dylan, what do you got in this game?
So this spread has changed tremendously since the opening line. It opened up as Utah was favored, correct?
Yep.
Which is crazy because I think Cam Rising's playing, so I don't know how that's flipped this way.
Cam.
And
Yeah, no,
Cam Rising. I feel like Utah's the right play, but I'm going to go dumb brain here and I'm going to take Oklahoma State at home. Bowman's looked really good. Gordon hasn't done much yet, but I think they haven't had to use him really, and why put some extra mileage on him this early in the season. I'll take Oklahoma State minus 2.5. I think they win this game. Give Utah a little taste of what it takes to be a Big 12 champion. Start working towards that.
Yeah, here's what I'll tell you. Oklahoma State seems like they're playing pretty well. They seem like a team that doesn't have a care in the world. Almost like they could drink, I don't know, 1,000 beers and go drive or something. Like nothing bad would happen. That type of confidence, I think, is going to get him over the top. All right? When your ball coach goes and says he has drank and drove over 1,000 times, there's something to that. I do not condone that. In fact, the opposite of condone it.
That's
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
sick play.
Yeah.
Nick, to get your
I would admonish him.
I was getting worried when you seemed like you were in the middle.
No. What? No. I think Lockridge will throw away the key. That being said, he's got the kids playing.
They're playing ball.
They're playing ball. And I think I'm going to go ahead and take that minus 2.5. I think Utah gets welcomes to the Big 12. I don't think they're used to having to play big boys every week. Cam Bad, Moon Rising. Maybe wait till next week to come back.
Yeah, I like that pick a lot. I almost want to do the same thing, but I'm actually going to go with the under in this one. I think this is a game that changes people's minds about the Big 12. You got two heavyweights punching, and I think that you see a little more of Ollie Gordon here. Maybe he starts figuring out a little bit more.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Punching.
Yeah.
Ollie.
Heavyweights.
I know his name's Ollie, but Ollie.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, that's what I meant. You know me. So under 52 and a half.
I just got a shout for him.
Yeah. Under 52 and a half is where I'm going. I wish the game was at night, and I feel real good about it. With it being in Oklahoma State, they should have a sense for the moment. And Nick, they're ranked number 14.
So I was close.
You were close. All right. We got our last game before picking Texas Tech. And so we have number 6 Tennessee versus number 15 Oklahoma.
Oh, man.
Oklahoma being 7-point dogs at home with an over-under of 57. Nick, what do you got on this one?
I want with all my heart to pick Tennessee to crush them. I do. But I'm going to take Oklahoma +7 at home. I don't think they're going to get beat by that much. They didn't look great last week. Oh, they pulled it off, but they didn't look great at the beginning. It took the whole game to figure it out. If it wasn't for the last couple minutes score, right, they would have only won by not even a touchdown. So, yeah, I'll take Oklahoma just because let's see what they can do. And Tennessee, sorry, Dallas. Hot thoughts. Hot thoughts.
The highest scoring offense in the nation right now.
Hot thoughts.
I believe.
Hot thoughts.
Dill?
I was watching the cover 3 guys earlier, and so both of these teams have not trailed at all this season. And it's funny because they were talking about, it's like, you do think differently of how both have performed, though. Tennessee's looked amazing. That they look like one of the best teams right now. Oklahoma's been struggling. Everything in me wants to take Oklahoma in this spot. It's at home. You got against a young quarterback on the other side. The crowd's going to be insane. First game in the SEC, you need to show out. Tennessee's going to blow them out. I'm going to take Tennessee on the road, -7, especially hey, you got a touchdown there. I know that this will probably end up above 7 in my opinion by the time the game starts, but I just think they're going too hot right now. This Oklahoma team has too many question marks at the moment.
Yeah, this one's tough. I think obviously Oklahoma's very defensively sound. I'm not sure about their offense though. And then you have another, item with both quarterbacks being again new quarterbacks and playing in their first tough game. Who knows if a few more mistakes than usual happen. So I'm going to go with the under in this one as well at 57. The Undertaker's here last 2 games. So we'll see. I'm trying to change it up. I don't usually do that.
I don't hate that pick.
All righty. And with that being said, we have our segment, the Not a Celebrity Guest Picker.
Oh, man.
So with that, we got Ken Bone with us. And here he comes.
Welcome, boys.
Ken Bone, hey man, how are you doing today? Welcome to the Roll and Dough podcast.
It is great to be here. Day's going well. It has been a wonderful football season for most. For me, it's been a struggle. I know you were talking about your Patriots earlier on in the podcast. I'm a New York Football Giants fan. So if you feel bad about your football season, imagine how I feel. But I'm ready to go for this college football Saturday. Cannot wait to watch Texas Tech win by 1 million. I'll say that right now before the picks even come out. Texas Tech by 1 million. Okay.
Whoa, I love that. You're
I'm
right on cue with us.
This week. Yeah.
Kenny, with that, we got a couple of questions for you, so I'll kick us off. You have a few B-team legends in this room.
Absolutely.
And one on the other side of us. I'd like to think, if I reminisce, we probably won about 125-1. Can you tell me what it was like being white chocolate for the Bush Bulldogs?
Yeah, it was great memories. Seventh and eighth grade, great memories being on B team. Looking back, I do say that we were the strongest B team basketball squad in any ISD. I mean, people who paved the way before us, people like Trevor Knight, Nick Dementor, for one. You have to think about that. Austin Hayes, people who we all played with later on in our careers, played on the collegiate level, not basketball wise, but athleticism was there. They taught us what we needed. We had great coaching. It wasn't just us. It wasn't just me leading the team by any means. Bush Bulldogs, we we strive on day in, day out, no matter what we do, right? So, but no, it was a great time playing basketball for that school.
I would like to mention that some of those guys you did mention weren't on the B team, but they did pay you away.
They showed us what we had to do.
Yeah, hey Ken, Nick Dementia here. As I was a little bit older than you guys, my question is, how inspired did I make you all the time? Growing up, seeing me pave the way.
Yeah, to be quite honest with you, I'm going to go ahead and say that 10% of what I did was influenced by Nick Dementia. I will say, however,
big percentage.
I know it is, but I will say, however, I feel like that percentage definitely went up once I actually started getting to know you, the greatest university in the world, Texas Tech University. So at that point in time, I said, wow, you know what? There are a lot of things that I've been doing in my life that kind of remind me of you. And I'm like, man, maybe there was something there, back in the day. Yeah. So yeah, no, to be honest, I appreciate you a lot.
I appreciate the kind words. Thank you.
No, 100%.
Kenny, Dylan here. I got a question for you. So, how have your B team experiences helped shape you into the man that you are today?
Oh yeah, we had to grind. We had to grind a lot, and I'm somewhat of a grinder.
Nothing was given to you.
Well, that's definitely not true. Shout out to Ken. But no, I will say everything I did while playing sports, I will say is earned. That's something I definitely learned at the Bush Bulldog Gymnasium near Stone Oak Parkway. So yeah, no, I mean, a lot of what I did on the B team has really made me into the man I am today, 100%.
There you go. And Kenny, we're right there with you as fellow B team superstars. I just thought that was the fitting topic with each of us.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, with that, we'll go ahead.
Hey, Temno, is everything awesome?
Yeah, Nick, if you don't have a positive outlook on things, they'll go negative. So everything's awesome.
Everything's awesome.
Have you ever watched the
Lego movie?
Yeah,
I've seen it. All right, fine. That was the only answer I was going to get you out of what I was about to do.
Yeah, Lego Batman. All right, Ken Bone. We're on to the picks now. All right, we have our first pick. Number 24, Illinois versus number 22, Nebraska. Nebraska favored by 7.5 with the over-under 42.5. What do you got?
Yeah, go ahead and give me Nebraska minus 7.5. Going into all this stuff, I honestly just think that Illinois, the ranking that they have, is not warranted. Barely beating Kansas by 2 field goals last week. I think they're coming into this matchup. They're not ready for what Nebraska and Pat Mahomes Jr. Has in store for them. So give me Nebraska 7.5.
Ken, that's a great pick there.
Thank you.
Riding with Nick. All right, Kenny. Next, we got NC State versus 21 Clemson. Clemson's favored by 19 with the over-under 44.5. What do you got?
Yeah, go ahead and give me Clemson running down that hill. I think Clemson coming into this game, they're finally finding their stride a little bit. You go into week 1, playing Georgia, and that can't be good for anybody, especially a team like Clemson, who I know they have their stuff. It's just it took time to find their stride, and against NC State, they're going to find it. Clemson minus 19.
Like that pick? Like it a lot.
Love it.
Next, we got probably one of the best games of the week. We got number 11 USC versus 18 Michigan. Michigan plus 5.5 over under 44.5.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and take Michigan at plus 5.5. Reason being, USC, I'm pretty sure last week just won by 40, if I'm not mistaken, beating Utah State. So I think they're going to come in a little lackadaisical. They're going to come in cocky. They're going to come into the big house thinking they're going to steal a win away. Not necessarily knowing if that's stealing a win or not, but coming into the big house and taking a win away from the Wolverines. And I think Michigan is just going to go ahead and kind of put them back into a place where they have to understand, we're not going to win by 40 every week. So I think coming in a little lazy, a little cocky is going to turn USC and give them an L here. So yeah, Michigan plus 5.5.
That's a real good call. The other thing I didn't think of there is how many times is Michigan to be home dogs this year? Sorry, number 2.
Yeah.
So,
And it's taking number, so it's going to be a lot more.
it could go up pretty quickly. All right, Ken, we got a Big 12 showdown. Yep. Number 12, Utah versus Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State's now favored by 2.5, over under 52.5.
Yeah, newbies in the Big 12 have not done well this year. However, give me Utah. The reason being, Utah defense. Nick mentioned this earlier on in the podcast as well, how trusting the simulation of college football 25 has really determined the way he's picking these games this year.
That's a good call, though.
Yep, I'm going with the same exact method. I've played my friends multiple times online. I pick Utah because personally, I'm horrible at defense on any kind of football game, but something about the Utah defense in that game is unstoppable, and I think that's going to happen in the real world simulation that we're all living in. So give me Utah.
I love the sound logic there. It makes a lot of sense.
Thank you.
All righty. Next, we have number 6 Tennessee versus number 15 Oklahoma. Oklahoma's going to be 7-point dogs at home, over under 57.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go Tennessee. The Vols here. I mean, they look so good. I know this is a different challenge for them coming into this week, but I just can't see the Volunteers slowing down this week. It's going to be a close game. I think barely scraping by that -7, but I think it's going to happen. So go ahead and give me number 6, Tennessee.
There you go. Those are Kenny's picks, and now we're going to move on to the game that everybody's been waiting for. The Old
Dominion.
Oh, sorry. What were you going to say?
Old Dominion's got a big game this week.
Yeah, Old Dominion. Yeah, they do.
So
We got the Arizona State versus Texas Tech Red Raiders. Texas Tech is favored by 3 currently.
we're playing Bowling Green.
Bowling Green. 59.5 is what the over-under is. Kenny, we'll let you kick us off with this. What do you think of this game, and what do you got in this game?
I said it at the beginning of the podcast coming into here. Texas Tech by 1 million. I know you can't put that on your stat or in your little stat board for next week when they win.
We can put whatever you want.
I don't know if it'll hit.
Give me Texas Tech. Give me Texas Tech here. I couldn't be a celebrity guest picker on here, not a celebrity guest picker, excuse me, on this podcast and not pick Texas Tech. I know we've seen them struggle. Last week they looked a lot better. However, there's still things we have to improve on, and I think playing Arizona State is going to get us to that spot. We're going to squeak one by. I know I said by 1 million. That's just my confidence in this program. But Texas Tech -3, we're going to beat Arizona State.
Love that pick. Love it a lot. Still, what do you got?
I couldn't be more on this game and right about this game. I mean, I have a final score I've had all week, and it matches the total. I didn't even look at the total.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
Are you going to bet on the push?
yes. So I got the push. So Texas Tech's going to win this game easily. We've finally found the team that we're supposed to be, guys. We were supposed to be good. We weren't supposed to lose to Washington State. We figured things out. Florida, North Texas had to feel that.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to go ahead and take Texas Tech -3. We're going to take the team total over. I think it's 31.5. We're going to take Arizona State team total under 28.5. The final score is going to be 38-21 Texas Tech. And here, I'll give you a little nugget, too, to help us all out. Over the past 10 years, Texas Tech is the most profitable team at home against the spread in FBS. 22-11-1, 66.7% of the time they cover. We're the best home team in the country against the spread.
Holy smokes. Mm-hmm. I think you just ended the podcast. Nick, what do you got?
Troy.
Okay, I'll go first before Nick. I will say Nick broke my brain with the Old Dominion bit.
Old Dominion?
See, still not working. All right, so here's what I got.
You want to know what really break your brain? Yeah, I know.
Go ahead.
So, up until yesterday, who I coached for 3 seasons
Quit.
and quit? Bowling Green. You know who Old Dominion's playing tomorrow?
Bowling Green.
Bowling Green. I didn't remember that.
Oh, man. How fitting. So what I have.
Yeah, it is.
All right, buddy. Buddy old pal. I got Texas Tech -3. I'm rocking with Dylan after that stat. How can you go away from it? And then I'm going to take the over at 59.5. I believe points will be scored. I think that Water's going to find its level. Arizona State's going to find its level. And we're going to be reaching. We're not quite there yet. But thanks to Old Reliable, you had to go back. So thank you to the Fighting Chucks for giving us the confidence we needed coming into this week. And we'll hit the over, and we'll cover 3 points.
Well, Troy, if you want to know what helps my stat, it's the fact that we're not a home favorite very often, so.
Yeah.
That sucks. Nick, I had a dream that Texas Tech football was going to beat Arizona State 63-22.
What was the score against North Texas? 66-21 or something?
Yeah, something like that.
We're addicted to it.
Yeah.
We can't stop. So go ahead, give me the alternate line. We're going Texas Tech -16. Boy, I tell you what, we're about to take them down to Chinatown, and we ain't gonna bring them back. All right? They're coming to the LBJ, and guess what? They might have to stay there because they ain't gonna be able to afford the bus ride home. All right? Kicked out on their tuchuses after that game's done. All right? They're a bunch of hot frogs. 3-0? I don't think so. Okay? You feel me? Give me the over, because we're going to cover it ourselves. Give me the team over, because obviously we're going to cover it ourselves. All right?
The team over, you have to cover. Yeah, you don't get help on that one.
Give me the alternate line -16. We got the boys playing football. We're dinking, we're dunking, we're going over the top, we're going underneath. We're digging caves. And guess what? We're finding little gremlins in there. And guess what? They're going to pop in the end zone and they're going to score some touchdowns too. All right? God, I love what I see from the team. Cam Brown, Dickey, look at him go. He's running, he's gunning. Oh, yeah, baby. Woo! I love it.
Oh, it matches my model. 21, that's 17 points, so there you go.
Hey, that checks out too. Well, fellas, Nick, thanks for taking us to the promised land. I'm on full throttle now. But with that, Kenny, thank you for joining us today. Any final words?
Not really. Wreckham Tech, like I said, Tech by a million. It was a pleasure being on here, boys. Thanks for having me, and hopefully that record is flawless next week, and I'm the new champion of the Not a Celebrity Guest Pickers.
Oh, man. I know, perfect. Undefeated. Ken Bone, undefeated. Well, with that, fellas, thank y'all for joining us, and Wreckham,